We need to put some hold-on maneuvers.
This is where the fun begins.
Welcome to the Holdo Maneuver Podcast. I'm not Mark, I'm Chris, and...
Hey, how's it going? I'm Stanford.
Hi, Stanford. You know, if this is your first time listening and or watching, in this podcast, we'll share our thoughts on different topics from a galaxy far, far away. Hey, Stanford, I don't want to get too far ahead here. I know we just met, but do you think that Cassian shared his childhood dream with Bix, the one he kept secret?
Yes, I do.
Of course.
What do you think?
I think so. I think he let her in on that he wanted to start his own planet, and that planet was Andor.
Yeah, I think he did too.
Sorry, I had to get the bad joke in right away.
I love it. That's perfect. Is that what drove her away?
I think so. She was like, she just kept thinking like, oh, he's going to be an Andalorian.
She's like, I'm out.
I'm not going to lie. I think we got the best 3 episodes so far this season.
I mean, Chris, seriously, I think all these episodes have been solid, but I agree with you. Like, I couldn't believe how amazing episodes 7, 8, and 9 were. And I'm sorry in advance about my camera. Yeah, I literally am in the dark. I was telling Chris, I'm in a hotel and I've got horrible internet. So sorry. I mean, I guess you can be lucky you're not having to look at my mug, but still, we'll see if it chimes in. But I'm with you, dude. Amazing episodes.
Right. And you know, oh gosh, it's hard to believe, like, we kicked it off so strongly with Messenger. You know, right away we're 1 year later hanging out on Yavin. This is probably the most time we've ever spent on Yavin in Star Wars.
And I think that was one of the things I just really enjoyed. I mean, the production design of this show I think is so outstanding anyway, but just seeing these familiar environments, it's fun. You know, it's just Star Wars nerddom, and I loved it.
You know,
even down to the costumes. You know, the costumes were where everything was just spot on, I thought.
Oh, there's some production design choices and costume design choices that I just have to point out in these episodes, kind of as we get there. But I'm trying to remember that blaster wound that Andor's Cassian's suffering from. Was that in the previous set of episodes, or did that happen off screen?
You know, if I'm not mistaken, Chris, it happened off screen.
Okay.
And it happened in between, you know, this year between the last 3 episodes and this one. At least that's the theory that seems to be prevailing that I could find.
Sure, but
yeah, I really don't think we saw it.
Okay.
Yeah, at least I sure don't remember seeing it.
Right, and Galactic others. Tai Chi could not loosen it up for him, unfortunately.
Right.
But he definitely seemed to be on the outs with Lutheran when we start the episode.
Yeah.
And Willman's looking pretty rough for hanging out with Saw over that last year, I assume.
Dude, you know, time with Saw Gerrera is like, no, thank you. Yeah, it did not seem to do him any favors.
No. But you know, Willman shows up, says, "Hey, Lutheran wants to know if you want to get back in the fight on good old Ghorman, the Frenchest planet in the entire galaxy."
Yeah. Good call.
And yeah, speaking of production design, we cut over to Ghorman.
Chris, speaking of production design, isn't that the coolest set though?
Oh, it's so good. It's so
Yeah.
good. It's instantly a world that is familiar but new, and I love when they get that right in Star Wars.
Yeah, same. In a lot of ways too, it reminded me of Jeddah. In some too, maybe just have Rogue One on the brain, with all this Cassian and Andor stuff. But I'm with you.
I was gonna say, we see Cyril kind of running around in Discord. His hair is out of control. His hair is letting us know immediately things are not okay.
Exactly. You don't need all the facial expressions. You can just tell from his hair, because usually it's all so perfect, right?
Right, and it's just a mess. He just woke up. He's panicked. His rebel friends are mad at him. His girlfriend's not giving him the answers. It's rough. Deidre's keeping secrets.
I just stopped my camera officially. I was going to help with the bandwidth. So anyway, again, everybody's lucky they don't have to see me, but I was still sorry about the camera.
I've got a virtual background because it's a mess back here, so I get
it. This hotel room is just great. You can see the safe and the coffee machine and stuff. But anyways,
a safe and a coffee machine. That's how you know. Yeah.
Fancy. Anyway, I digress. Sorry.
It's all right. But yeah, they ship in the greenest troopers in the entire Empire to Ghorman. They're building the scene here.
They are green and also just like, they can aim. I mean, they're mean, and they're mean is what I think.
Right.
It's like stormtroopers were kind of scary again, in my opinion.
Right. Oh, and it's amazing the transformation in Ghorman from the previous set of episodes to here. That year on Ghorman has not been good.
No. Whatever Star Wars Fox News is, has just been taken over and taking them out.
It's true, and they're
ruining minds,
making it terrible, and they want to make sure that the Empire is great again.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that is such a theme throughout these 3 episodes. It's incredible.
It's incredible.
I did have some notes for myself, and I thought I should pull those up, now and not as helpful.
Not later.
not later. We also get to see a force healer, just kind of a low-level force healer. We got to bring that up. Andor's not a believer, but seemed to do the job.
What did you think, Chris, about the Force getting introduced? Because that's one of the things that's been kind of cool in a way about Andor is just, the Force clearly exists in this universe, right? But it's not addressed. We're not talking about it. But I frankly loved how it was used in this, in this context. But what did you think?
Well, I think we're dealing with someone specifically who's not Jedi, probably not even former Jedi, but has this one skill set, this one slight skill set. And I think that's interesting because the Force isn't the realm of the Sith or the Jedi. And to see it in this small cook at the Rebel site, it's wonderful.
Yeah, I love that. I love that scene. And I also, just in a way, it just seemed to bring clearly to Bix. But also, I don't know. Do you think it brought some courage and some clarity to Cassian too? What do you think?
It may have emboldened him a little bit. I actually kind of left that scene also with the Force healer and Bix and Cassian, wondering if Bix may not have a little bit of Force sensitivity herself.
Yeah,
saying she always had a feeling.
Good call. That's what I was wondering too. If Bix is Force sensitive too. That was my thought as well. Yeah.
So Cassian books himself a flight, gets to Ghorman, checks into the same room, not looking as good as it did the last time.
Didn't you love that hotel clerk though? Wasn't he cool?
He was cool. I appreciated that.
He's back, and he's part of the resistance, and I just loved it. And of course he delivers the killer line a little later on, but yeah, that was great.
Johnny, when I was playing with that terrible Andor joke, I was originally thinking, like, do you think before she passed? And then she didn't die, which is... We've got 3 episodes left. You don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah. I kind of hope she doesn't die. What do you think?
I hope not. I hate to see a character fridged, and she actually got a chance to have some redemption. She got her revenge and seems in a healthier place.
Yeah. I agree.
So, boy, I feel like I'm moving real fast. Any other thoughts on episode 7?
It was all like a slow burn, yet it was just used to, okay, we're speeding up here, and some really bad is gonna. I mean, it's gonna go down in episode 8, and sure enough, it does.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this is such a solid 3 episode arc, and this is clearly Act 1. We're setting up our players, and boy, it gets bad in the second act.
Oh my stars! I know, right? Act 2 is so gnarly. I don't have anything else to add other than it sets the stage and I mean, it's all been leading up to it, of course, but wow,
right?
Holy smokes! Not that I had expectations. I mean, but wow, it exceeded expectations. How horrific it all was. Anyway, I don't mean to jump the gun here. I know we're getting
no. Oh man. So yeah, who are you? Episode 8. They open up the memorial area. They are letting the fish into the barrel.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the other thing. Maybe that's why the stormtroopers didn't miss, is because truly they were shooting fish in the barrel.
Right. Not only were they shooting fish in the barrel, they were shooting fish from the middle of the barrel.
Yes.
Oh, and of course, our Gore revolutionary asked Cyril, "What's in our ground? What is it that you want to steal?" And Cyril doesn't even know at that point.
Yeah.
And he demands Deidre give some answers in the roughest way possible for Cyril.
I couldn't believe that. In fact, not wanting to be, more of a creep than I already am, but I just thought, maybe is he gonna strangle her? Is he gonna kill her? I kind of wanted him to.
Right.
Because she's so horrible. I mean, but he's been so misguided, Oh my goodness. That his awakening was really startling. It was amazing, wow.
Right. He's angry, he's mad, and he's gonna take it out on anyone at that point. And Jay Wink points out best episode of Star Wars in her opinion that Disney has done, and it's hard to argue that. I know she has called this the Saving Private Ryan of Star Wars.
Yeah. I would be there with you. Just it was a remarkable episode, no question about it.
Oh yeah, and the chant "We are Gore," the galaxy is watching. The galaxy didn't know what they were watching.
Yeah.
That's propaganda 101 when they're like, "Hey, look, they're slaughtering us." Nah, they had it coming.
Exactly. And I mean, Star Wars is political. I mean, anybody who thinks otherwise, I think I don't know what stuff they're watching, but it's not what I've watched.
Right.
And I just, it was chilling just to see this, not only with what's going on with our current day, but also just as if you're a student of history, you know, you see, wow, this is such an amazing representation of how this stuff could even happen, just with really just the evil, just this really bad folks doing bad stuff. Yeah, scary.
Right, and we've heard about the Ghorman Massacre in other
Yes!
Star Wars outlets, and
Yes,
we get to see it now.
and now we had to see it, and just happened before our eyes. And again, is just said it was almost just so much worse. I mean, I knew it was going to be bad, but wow, it was so bad. But so well crafted. Again, so masterfully done, so masterfully edited. I thought, shot really just what a great. I love that Saving Private Ryan reference. I thought.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
yeah.
And then they start singing protest songs in their native language.
Yes.
Again, from not only the Frenchest planet, but the Frenchest man on that planet. I have to point out, he had that shotgun blaster that looked like it was right off the farmhouse.
Yes. Chris, you nailed it.
Yeah. But it's and they march the green troops right into the middle of the crowd, looking for an incident to start so they can get provoked to fire back. Oh, it's hard. It's hard to even think about.
Yeah, it really is. The whole time, I mean, my stomach was just in knots, wow, watching this. Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And the whole time, Andor, Cassian, he's just watching, waiting for his moment to try to assassinate Deidre.
I know. He's waiting for his sniper moment. And you're like, shoot it now, do it now, do it now. That's what I was doing. And then, of course, all the stuff kept happening. Yeah.
And eventually he had to change his sights and help the people of Gore in that moment.
Yeah.
And I have to wonder, and I'm going to ask you this, do you think when Cyril attacked Cassian, it was because he was trying to defend Deidre, or was it because he finally thought he spotted his outside agitator?
I thought it was the latter one, that I mean, Cyril was in such a crazed state of mind anyway, and it's like he was coming to and getting a conscience, true, or just again this awakening he was having. But then when he saw Cassian, it's just like he just snapped back into what his former kind of modus operandi was. That fight was brutal,
brutal.
I loved it. Just because again, I just thought it was really appropriate for what was going on, with these two characters. I mean, mostly what was going on with Cyril. I mean, but because Cassian's like, who is this guy?
Right. Cassian meant everything to Cyril, and Cyril wasn't a blip on his radar.
Yeah, exactly. And I was wondering again, if Cassian was going to be the one to kill Cyril, but how all that went down, I don't know. It all worked, but I do feel bad for Cyril. I didn't necessarily want some kind of redemption arc for Cyril in a way, but I think I was happy. Happy maybe isn't the right word, Chris, but I guess maybe more satisfied that Cyril had before he died, he could see that he was in the wrong.
Right. Well, wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, some members of the Corps had to get their hands dirty in a way they didn't think they'd have to. And it was too little, too late, and it was a situation they shouldn't have been in.
Yeah, yeah.
But of course, our hotel clerk gave us the line. He said the
Yes.
thing.
What did you think of that, Chris?
You know what? We steal our best material from someone else. So either it was a hotel clerk or someone a little bit smarter than him fed it, and we're feeding all the way down the line.
Yeah, yeah.
But I love to hear it. It's well, and we see so many callbacks to different moments in the show, and we'll do it again in the final episode of this, and I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Seriously. Episode 9. Oh my gosh.
Well, and just like Cassian, just the character growth in this episode, just he went from the singular soldier on a mission to kill Deidre to trying to protect a people.
Yeah.
In a losing cause.
You know, one of the things I love about this, because honestly, just typically, I hate kind of like a made up prequel story. Like, I mean, this is a dumb example, but okay, let's like the Grinch, how the Grinch stole Christmas. You have to like make up this whole big backstory of like the hard childhood that the Grinch had. I'm like, no, he's the Grinch. You know what I mean? It's like,
right.
Forget all this crud. But I love how we really get this amazing character arc with Cassian. To see what he actually, what he does in Rogue One, right? And I just was thinking the whole time that Cassian was there and being a firsthand witness to the massacre, how that's got to inform his actions. You know what I mean? It just how we see him, particularly when we first meet him in Rogue One. But I think this backstory has been really brilliant for him.
It's been great. It's been so good, and it's funny to think. Episode 1, he's a messenger, right? And what's his cover here? Reporter.
Yeah.
And he truly is getting to see these things and share these experiences with other rebels and people who want to listen.
Yep.
Oh, poor Cassian. But he picks up a friend in this episode.
Yes. Literally.
Quite literally. I mean, yeah. He's in pieces. Boy, can we talk about how scary the KX droids were?
Okay, I'm so glad you bring that up, because I meant to bring that up a few minutes ago, because they were terrifying. It's how they were throwing people and stuff. I mean, holy cow. They were terrifying. Absolutely.
Right. I mean, literally throwing characters we met and leaving them dead on the ground.
Yeah.
Whew.
And, again, the Empire, because, didn't they commit to not, like, making droids after the battle droids? And then clearly they got this whole other, arsenal of...
I mean, it's a waste not to make droids that kill people, right?
Yeah.
It's just fiscally responsible.
Right.
Oh. Also, it's amazing how I should have brought this up earlier. These are the shortest episodes of the season too, but they're so concise and just tell such a great story that I don't care what the runtime was. It was just so good.
I am with you. In fact, I almost lost track of time, frankly, just because they were so good. Yeah. Not that I've been bored or anything in the other ones, but there was these again, just because everything's been leading up to these episodes. Wow. I was really dazzled by them.
Oh man. But Willman stays behind to find his love. And
yes,
Cassian gets out of there with K2SO in tow and heads to Coruscant.
Yeah. And actually, I like that. That's how they're they're bringing in K2SO. How did you feel about it? Did you like it? Was it just like whatever?
It's better than like the head cannon. Sorry, Johnny. Where it like he just jumps on the back and stabs a spike and reprograms him. This is a much better story, I think.
Yeah, I did too. It worked for me.
The head of this channel, the man who's normally in the seat, Mark Vibert, is asking to hit that like, everybody. So you better do it.
And Mark, sorry, my camera's not working, so my bad. But anyway, I am here.
Oh man! And then we get to the hour-long set piece at the end of this story. We're on Coruscant, and we go to the Senate.
Chris, finally, and it, again, all the interesting things that were leading up to her speech. The bug or whatever that was in her, in the room, and all the intrigue and all the conversations that she's having. Isn't she just a fine actress too?
She's so good. I have to say though, Benjamin Bratt is a fine actor, but I was missing Jimmy Smits.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Benjamin Bratt's, pinch hitting. He's doing good, doing an okay job. But I'm with you. Jimmy Smits is he's Bail Organa.
Yeah,
that's how it rolls.
Oh, but just the tension, even before we get to the build, it's the moment. It's just everything. Every thread is being pulled, every rich direction. We learn almost everyone is a spy for somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think that to again all these conversations had to take place for finally Mon Mothma was gonna do what she did, or was she already gonna do it? And these conversations just
I think she was right there at the edge, just the literal edge, and this finally pushed her to the point where she just had to do it.
Yeah.
It
was breathtaking for me.
When
she finally was doing it, I think I was just kind of jaw dropping. I was like, okay, she's doing it, and it's awesome.
Also, the political maneuvering in this episode, I have to take a moment and step back. All these senators, this emergency, this terrible thing on Gore, we need to make sure to memorialize every Imperial who lost their life on Gore. Yeah. And for Bail to go, hey, you keep using the word emergency, and if you remember, we have a rule that says if there's an emergency, we have a procedure for that. Ooh, politicking.
Yes, and again, though, how it was all set up perfectly to give her the floor. I'm not sure she would have been able to take the floor, right?
Right.
If some of that politicking hadn't taken place.
Right. It's if you know what you hate to say, what somebody's gonna basically say, right? So you can start cribbing the notes, expecting how you can shape the situation, and Bail did that. But unfortunately, Bail kind of learned you have to at least know some of your operatives.
Yeah. Right, because what was amazing to me too, that here Mon Mothma is like, who can she trust? Again, not that like she ultimately goes with Cassian, but holy cow, what a crazy situation she's put in, but I mean, it worked out. Clearly,
Well,
thank goodness.
It's a good thing Cassian is very persuasive.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he didn't give her time to clue him in. He's like, hey, I have friends in a lot of places. I have friends everywhere. Just...
although so sorry, back to the speech.
Oh, go.
I'm jumping
Please.
all over. But when she finally points the finger at Emperor Palpatine, I mean, I think I probably just raised both my arms in the air. I was like, yes, yes, someone finally.
If only someone was on the light switch. And it was Emperor Palpatine.
Yes.
But the speech here is so good, and it's so much better than the little cut we had in Rebels years and years ago.
Yes. Yeah. Agreed. I'm with Mark.
Right.
Yeah. You got it, Mark.
I don't know. I think that Empire might be onto something. No. The Empire's the worst. And it's so obvious to anyone with their eyes open. But, like the world we're in today, people see what they want to see.
Yeah, exactly. And her speech was so beautifully written and again, so perfectly delivered. But no one's curious about the truth. That's what I feel, that just makes me crazy. It's just all whatever, however you want to spin it.
Right. Well, and she says, it's the death of objective truth. We've lost it. It's gone.
Yeah.
No one can agree what happened that day on Ghorman.
Yep.
And it just happened.
I know, right? And again, all the cameras were there and all the people there, we were witnessing it,
Right.
It reminded me a lot of like January 6th. And sorry to get, I'm probably going to get haters. But like we saw that happen.
Right. But we saw the protesters just let those troops in. They welcomed him in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sarcasm just was only softening the blow. Oh, what? And you know what? I'm glad that the floating hover Senate crafts are fast enough so she could get out before troops got up to her, because they move pretty slow, but not too slow. As Mark says, surely nothing like that could happen in real life.
Oh my gosh. Again, we're watching it happen.
Oh man, and just Cassian's got to be the fastest guy on his feet. I tell you what, he definitely threw some people off with just some quick wit in that escape.
That escape. Again, wasn't that also just a fantastic sequence? Again, I just was breathless. I was like, I can't believe I'm watching this. This is just so cool and so well crafted.
And again, I talked about it earlier. Characters are letting us know their state with their hair. Of course, I'm talking Clea, Luthern's right-hand woman, letting the hair down because it's falling apart. There's no reason to keep the illusion anymore.
Right. It's so true. Yep.
Michael, it's propaganda. It's mostly propaganda is how I think the Empire was so successful.
I do too. I think it's propaganda.
I mean, in the previous set of episodes, remember the Gore were like, it's the ISB, even Emperor Palpatine doesn't know what's going on. Surely he wouldn't allow this. Of course he allowed it. He's at the head.
Of course. He's the one who, made it happen.
Don't worry, Mark. She knows exactly where to find Bix. But, you know that joke. I used it at the beginning. It ain't good. Oh man, but yeah, Lutheran and Clea outside the Senate losing their nerve. The hardest two people in the entire show are just like, I don't know. Do we have to go? Oh, jeez.
That was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think's gonna happen? What do you think's gonna happen to them?
It can't end well, right?
Yeah.
Especially with Lutheran staying on Coruscant.
Bye, Mark. Thanks for tuning in.
Right.
Good luck with everything. Yeah.
You know, and things are going to get a little bit worse, I think, for Cassian, because he's pretty hard when we meet him in Rogue One.
Yeah. He's gonna see some more bad stuff. That's what I'm thinking. Did you see Michael's comment? Only 2 dolls. Sorry.
This life day, you're only getting 2 Ghorman spiders instead of 30. And that's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
Sing the song. You're gonna hold the orb and sing the song, and it's all gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay. The planet Mattel is gonna pay their fair share.
That's right. That's right.
Wow, we are way in the political deep end. All right.
But again, it's kind of hard not to without what's going on in our lives,
right?
And then what's unfolding in the show. Yeah.
But
thrilling escape from
thrilling escape. I love when they run up to her driver and Cassian's like, "What's his name?" I got her. Poof.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. That quick wit getting them out of the Senate as they ran every which way they could to try to get out of that building.
Yeah. That was really great.
But you know what? Cassian also, was. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no! Please, after you.
I was just gonna say Cassian at least took a moment to be a gentleman and offer her his coat.
That's right. Well, and also, it's one of those things I had to keep telling myself, dude, don't be so nervous. You know that you know what happens to them. I mean, they're gonna make it. But still,
absolute credit to them for making you go, I don't know if they're gonna get there. We know they get there.
That's right. So I've never been so nervous for an outcome that I already knew,
right.
Still though, again, credit to the creative team. So great.
Oh, at least they didn't stop to go like, don't worry, Mon Mothma becomes president of the Republic eventually. It's cool. Like,
right. What do you think was going on with Deidre?
We didn't give her the credit. She kind of broke down after everything that happened. And I think she finally had some sort of connection with somebody in Cyril and threw it away just to do her duty.
Do you think clearly think her conscience is kicking in or whatever it is, that's making her really,
I think at best it's a momentary lapse of conscience. She accidentally gained one, and she'll take care of that real soon.
Yeah, it's not gonna. I just don't see how it could last. I think she again, no redemption arc for her. She's done, right? I mean, she's already
right.
She's chosen her path.
Well, and even then, I think even maybe a piece of it was her learning that she wasn't even really in charge of that situation.
Yeah.
Because they immediately just shipped someone in so he could start the riot and get the hell out of there.
Yeah. Because really, she was just a tool, right? I mean, she was just
right.
a little, yeah.
It doesn't matter how white your uniform is. You're still just a cog in the machine.
Yeah.
I mean, even Krennic learned that, and he had a fancy sash.
I know. Granny had some wardrobe, you know. I love that. Yeah, the fancy. So true.
But they make it back to Andor's old apartment. Mon Mothma has to decompress from everything she's been through, and Andor gives her basically the same advice he gave the woman in the first episode. Make it matter.
Yeah.
And also, Willman appears to have stepped in a bear trap.
Yeah. Yep. Good point.
Boy, but just... And even Clea was like, oh my god, you made it.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, this is just a moment for the characters to breathe, and Cassian's done with the rebellion at this point. He's over it. He's done his part.
This was so interesting. I didn't know, again, maybe none of us knew right what to expect, what was going to happen when Bix and Cassian got reunited. I know we touched that already a little bit, Chris, but I thought it was a great way for you. I mean, sad. Of course, you want them to be together, but there was no. I mean, clearly Bix knew, and if it was the Force healer or what. I kind of feel like the Force healer helped influence that.
Well, I mean,
she couldn't stay, right? I mean, because Cassian wouldn't.
The Force healer said he's running somewhere. Maybe that's to you. And Bix was like, hell no.
Right.
No, that's trivializing it. The reality is she thought the cause was worth more than their love. I mean, she said that if we're going to sacrifice, we're going to do it to win in a previous episode. And she's committed to that.
Yeah. Yeah. How did that all make you? I mean, was it satisfying to you? Were you bummed? What was your kind of reaction to, like,
I was sad. That's rough. That is rough. I mean, Cassian has done so much for Bix. He cares so deeply for Bix, and Bix cares for him. But
yeah.
The Empire had to go down. Galaxy over love.
I felt like it was a really noble move. Yeah, she had a higher. She put the galaxy over herself. Rather so they could, because instead of the two of them just running off and hiding, right, and probably having a very happy life together.
Right. And I mean, we've seen Cassian do that in the past before he ended up in a jail cell in the middle of an ocean.
Yeah.
So she knew that his role was bigger.
A lot of emotions going on with this. It's just that's the thing again that I was so surprised about is just how emotional, like how nervous, kind of how sad, how bittersweet, how stoked,
Right.
Just kind of like all the things, Chris.
All the things. Oh, but it's all right. Yeah, Mon's getting the big official trip to Yavin, which
yes,
if you want to see that, we did actually get to see that in Rebels. So
Rebels, yes, was it season 8? I'm trying to remember the exact episode.
I think it was season 3. I watched it today to try to have it in my brain. But of course that went sideways like everything, and our dear Ghost crew had to get involved.
It was, yeah. I mean, there weren't 8 seasons. It was like season 3. I can't remember the episode, but yes, right. Because I looked it up because I just thought, I've got to find this. I should have written it down.
Well, and just Mon Mothma has grown so much as a character for me, at least in the parts that we've seen her in Andor, that it's almost hard to go back to Rebels because she's very stiff upper lip, traditional Mon Mothma there.
Right. Kind of one-dimensional in a way, right? She's just kind of like this, almost like this caricature, where here in Andor, she's really, I think we got full three-dimensional, portrayal of her.
To kind of quote a different franchise, South Park, when talking to a Denver Broncos quarterback, "I've been told you're very important," is how I felt about Mon Mothma up until Andor.
I love that. Perfect.
Right, but her story has just been as important as Cassian's in this season for sure.
Yes, exactly. In fact, it almost feels like it's this dual thing, right, between the two of them. It's just like of equal importance. I thought in so many ways.
Oh, and then of course, it's cool, Cassian. You can come to the office and watch the speech.
That's right.
Johnny letting the world know he still hasn't watched Rebels, which, boo.
I think you'd like it, Johnny. I really like Rebels. Did you like Rebels, Chris?
I love Rebels. I'm actually wearing a Rebels shirt.
Oh, check you out. Okay. Love it.
But you got to get through that first season, which is clearly aimed at children, before they trick you into a very deep, wonderful story.
Yeah. Good point. It kind of turns from like this kid's adventure series into some really, really cool stuff.
Right. You get an episode where two characters go on a run to get fruit. By the way, here's an epic duel between Ahsoka Tano and Darth Vader.
That's the perfect way to put it. Yep.
But yeah, and more time on Yavin. I love Yavin.
I do too. Any shot of Yavin, I'm just absolutely stoked. So I just think that's just one of the coolest Rebel base setups ever.
It's great. It's right out of the rainforest. We've got ourselves a beautiful, like, Central American pyramid.
Yes, those pyramids. Yeah, like the Star Wars Mayan pyramids, or whatever those are. I love them so much.
And of course,
they're jungle.
They're gonna boot up the droid. We're gonna boot up our KX droid.
And we get a couple of lines from Alan Tudyk, right? I mean,
we do.
What? Yeah. If I'm pronouncing his last name right.
Thankfully, I don't think we're gonna offend Alan. So,
if only, right?
Right. We made it.
That's right.
It's the ancient aliens building pyramids around the galaxy.
Yes.
Thank you, Michael.
Yes. Thank you, Michael.
But of course, they offered Cassian protective eyewear, and he's like, "No, I just need a blaster."
Michael, I'm with you on the animation style. It took me a while just to kind of accept it, but I guess because I think the storytelling was so terrific. I don't necessarily love the production design of the characters. He's not more the character design. Excuse me, not the production design.
Right.
Production
Yeah.
design is great.
And the animation, frankly, in Clone Wars is pretty bad for most of it.
Yeah.
But the storytelling.
Is fantastic.
My poor wife, who is a Star Wars fan, but not really a cartoon person, even though she's jumped on board, is watching Clone Wars with me now, had to listen to me rant about the Mortis gods too many times.
That's great.
So here we are on Yavin. Bix is gone. But Cassian has met his life mate for the rest of his days in K2SO.
K2SO brought back to life, and
is very polite.
So, again, we can only assume, right, in this next jump that we're going to get with the next 3 episodes, or the final 3 episodes, right, that
right.
K2SO is going to be at Andor's side, right? We think
has to be.
It has to be.
Has to be.
Really. Yeah.
And I'm so disappointed that there's only 3 more episodes, but boy, I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. Exactly. I'm totally bummed about it, but then also just like, wow. I mean, if these last 3 are any indication, we could be in for just an incredible ride.
And it's like you said, we know where Cassian's going. We know where Mon Mothma's going. We know where the rebels are going. But such an just gripping and personal story for these characters, and I'm so glad we're getting to write it.
I don't know. I don't know how this isn't too dumb of a question. Do you think we're going to get any other familiar characters that we're going to see perhaps in these next 3 episodes, or are they going to kind of keep it, kind of separate?
That's a great question, and I could see at least one more cameo. So, okay, Saw's got to fall out with the rebellion yet. Yes. I don't know if we'll see that here, but that's got to happen.
That's got to happen.
Yep. And Cassian's got to get really, really like grim here in the next 3 episodes, because boy, he's shooting people in alleys the next time we see him.
Yeah, right. Next time we see him, right.
So that's not gonna be right. So I bet we will see some. I mean, I could see it being Saw and Willman doing something that upsets Cassian and really hardens him.
Yeah.
The downside to when we see a fun cameo, though, is it makes the galaxy small.
I know. It's exactly. So, and I think that this show does such a fine job of not just kind of filling it up with little cameos. Instead, we get like just the cool, again, settings. Right. Like Yavin.
Like Yavin. Yavin's great. It's a perfectly reasonable place for these characters to be.
Exactly. It makes total sense.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see the ghost parked outside at some point, because we saw it in Rogue One. We saw Chopper in Rogue One.
Yeah, true. Yep.
I mean, heck, we could see Hera.
I mean, honestly, that's who I was wondering.
Okay.
we were going to be see. Okay. We're going to see like Hera or some of these other.
Zeb could be leaning against a wall in the background.
I was seeing Zeb. Yeah, like exactly. Like,
which I mean, they're all cast.
Yeah. I guess it wouldn't suck, but also I don't know. I was just wondering, it would it seem out of place, or kind of like throwing fans a bone? I don't know.
It is kind of crazy. We're getting Yavin's origin story.
I love that. It's true.
Oh man. And as Johnny pointed out earlier, he remembers Yavin from Rogue Leader on the GameCube, which was a great game. It's one of those classic Star Wars locations. And just looks just beautiful. I want to spend a weekend on Yavin, preferably all inclusive, if we can make that happen. What's the pool situation? Is there a swim up bar?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so important we date our galaxy's timeline by that planet.
It's the truth, right? Everybody's favorite.
Oh, any thoughts we want to cover before we kind of wrap this thing up? It feels like we've done our bit, Stanford.
I know. We like hauled through it, but it was again. I think we hit big. The biggies and the big emotions of it all, and again, just such cool themes that are so Andor, but also I think just so Star Wars. Just I hate to just be so positive, but I really loved it.
Yeah, you got to have some pretty reliable transport on that trip, for sure. to Yavin. Make sure to use a reputable retailer.
Reputable, yeah. Verified.
Star Tours might be able to do that for you.
You need a better Rex droid, maybe.
Right. But save 10% with code YUBNUB. Oh.
Yeah. Nothing else from me other than this was great, Chris, and I'm so happy to talk with you about this. Thanks for your great insights and great discussion, and also just the cool folks that have chimed in. Thanks everybody for your great comments and being a part of this.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, Stanford, where can people normally find you when you're not, hijacking someone else's YouTube channel?
Exactly, and having camera issues. I've got a movie podcast. It's called Movies Past and Present. You can find it wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, you can go to moviespastandpresent.com. My Instagram handle is at moviespap, as in past and present.
That makes sense. I can follow that. So anyway, I'm Chris Plastic. I can be found at Shiny Plastic People, at SPP Toys at most places, including YouTube, where I sometimes review toys. But for all you holdovers who joined us, thank you so much for being here. Tune in, I assume, next week for Mark. We'll hopefully be back to wrap up this wonderful...
Marc and Mike will be back.
Yes. And you can get insight from people who know what they're doing.
have working cameras or good internet.
Right. Absolutely. All right, guys. May the force be with you. He says he should have had the outro button ready. Ah! Well, I don't use StreamYard, so I accidentally played that twice.